Good afternoon. Welcome back to the One Celtic. 2 seconds. The One Celtic fans view this afternoon. Celtic are showing a video, an old video. Scott McDonald scoring against AC Milan. Who was the manager then? It was Gordon Strachan, wasn't it? That was a long time ago. Showing Gordon Strachan had been at that game as well. God. Yeah, I would have been at that game. Yeah, big shout out to Danny Cassie, who has given us a little super chat this afternoon. Lots of people in the comments. And on this day, we signed King Henrik. Hopefully, it'll be a sign, and Celtic will get some decent talent again and start signing. Well, we have signed one player already today. Dies Maida has left the building. As we know, as we watched the video, the breaking news video just over an hour ago now. Any chance Celtic can reduce their prices and now stick to one jersey instead of 6 jerseys, and a fan version and a long short version and an authentic version and a special edition version, etc., etc. Yeah, unfortunately, I've not got any suggestions though. There we go. Right. Let's jump over to the land of Celtic's Twitter. It is all getting ready for the game. It'll be interesting to see how many people are at the game today. A lot of fans staying away due to the fact that Celtic haven't brought in a lot of big name players. Duran, Ho, and Hassan. I'll tell you one thing, if we do get the deal done for Hassan, that will be a formidable, absolutely formidable front line that we will have. And don't know. I've got to say, if we do get him in with the addition of Duran in already, he looks like a formidable winger. And well, Kasper Ho, his reputation precedes himself, and he could score goals. At the end of the day, if we get in Hassan, another good player, getting a couple of good more players, it starts to look like a bit more like a Martin O'Neill team, doesn't it? All we need to see now is the change on the pitch. It'll be interesting going into the SPFL a week on Monday night. The SPFL starts this coming Friday, I believe. There's one team gets special needs gets to play first. Anyway, open the cup. But it will be interesting to see how some of these teams play against Celtic. They won't know the players. It'll all be coming up against the players at some time for the first time, and it will be. Is whole SPFL ready? Should probably put him out on loan, says Mikey Boy. Having a little bit of a laugh this afternoon, Mikey Boy. I've just lost the Celtic page. It's roughly around about 10 minutes until the Celtic team is released. So I've just put out a picture of Celtic Park with the flags. We've won the league again. Fly the flag, fly. That was a song that never really got sung last year, is it? It's a song that the fans didn't have time to sing because we won the league in the final 10 minutes of the game. Higher ho, higher ho. Tell the board, here we go. Yeah. And Danny Cassie with a fantastic super chat. I bet the Huns are taking notice now. Who cares about them? I don't really care. Who's their manager? Oh, it's McInnes, isn't it? I even forgot who their manager was. So, yeah, McInnes, the manager. You've got to remember, McInnes is the manager that has never been able to beat Celtic in any major competition, any major final. They've hired a manager that could not beat Celtic. Who cares about them? I know it's only one signing and getting an £11 million player in the door. Needless to say, we have to think about, will Arne Engels still want to leave the club? Will he think, I've been here 3 years, are the club really? And then you've got to say Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor says, I'll wait and see what Celtic do over the summer to see if they meet my ambition. Is the signing of Kasper Ho at £11 million, is that enough to meet Callum McGregor's ambition? There was a lot of people talking this morning, Martin O'Neill needs to walk. Well, I don't think Martin O'Neill will be going anywhere just yet, especially with the fact that we've just spent 11 million on a striker that he could get the use of. Anyway, record signing, five Champions League goals last season, 6 actually, and he's SPFL already. Any midfield players on the way? We'll wait and see if Hassan comes in the door. We don't care what the animals say. What the hell do we care? Because we only know there's going to be a show in the Glasgow Celtic. Will be there. Pablo's put a comment up. I'll put it in plain English. Nobody sings now unless the Green Brigade or the boys start. The Green Brigade or the boys don't think it'll be there this afternoon. The good old chants of the 80s. Yes. Yeah. Do you know that I learned most of my Celtic rebel songs on the school bus in Fife coming home from school? The Kirkcaldy back up to Glenorchy back in the day. There's a little thing that you never knew about me. Yeah, I learnt all my rebel Celtic songs on the school bus. Still a piss poor scenario when Celtic fans find ourselves and about the board, and I was sick of it. I think they were all sick of the what's going on, but the Celtic board couldn't come out and tell us and say, look, we're in negotiation. And it's interesting that they did release information to Sky Sports today, and at the same time as releasing information that they have just sold Dyes and Maeda. So the Celtic hierarchy know what they're doing. We just want, as fans, we just want them to act a little bit quicker. You know, I did say, and my brother said, let's wait till the end of the transfer window, and then we can discuss. And I said that on this channel many times. I said, look, let's get to the end of the transfer window. It's been a month and a bit into the transfer window now. A month and 10 days into the transfer window. So Celtic should really have been a little bit further forward. But if we get in another couple of players next week before the start of the SPFL campaign, and players that can play in Europe, it might be a different picture altogether by the time that we get to the Champions League game. And on around, I think it is the 18th or 19th, is it the 19th of August. Still not one penny from me until the board is gone, period. Ooh, I don't think you're going to get rid of the board, so I'm just saying. I don't think that the board are the ones that you need to be aiming for. Said this in this morning's video. I think that if the fans want real change, they need to be looking to somehow manufacture a scenario where they get Dermot Desmond to sell his shares. It's as simple as that. That's the only way that you're going to get any improvement at Celtic. Sorry to say it. Sorry to be the one that just comes out and just tells it as it is. Because it's fact. Doesn't matter what the Willie Hockey, fucking got a hole in the brain now. Whoop ass, motherfucker. Willie Hockey. It doesn't matter what he wants to do. It doesn't matter what the Celtic Fans Limited want to do. It doesn't matter what the Celtic Fans Collective want to do. It doesn't matter what the Green Brigade want to do, or the boys want to do, or the any other person out there, because you will not remove anybody from the board without Dermot Desmond's say. So put your energy, free your mind, and push towards the removal of Dermot Desmond. And that's the last time I'm going to say about it, because I want to start getting in a good mood, because I was in a good mood before the Dyes Maeda video came out. I was having a great day, in fact. I was having a fantastic day. Just thought I'd put that out there. What about the midweek friendly for Ho to play? No chance. I think it's too late to get I think that, if anything, there'll be a closed door game, maybe organised. 5 minutes to go until the team come out. Here Baz can't get past the 6 ads to watch the show. What's going on? You must be watching it on your television then, Rob, because we've noticed that on channels as well that we watch. When you're watching it on your television, YouTube are pushing out an excessive amount of adverts, because they know that people that watch... I'm not going into YouTube stuff on this channel. Jesus God. Try to get me on work mode here. Anyway, Tony Stewart is coming in with a super chat. Also, he'll Baz and everyone. Just been sitting listening to in the background for a while. Not got the energy to wish everyone health. Tony, don't worry about it. As long as you're still there, that's all that matters, mate. It's all that matters. And thank you for the super chat, my friend. Board saying we have signed Ho to get the fans to the AC Milan match. I don't know how, because the ticket office won't be open to. I don't know if the ticket office is open today. Are people seriously going to go up and queue up to go to the ticket office just because we signed a player on Sky Sports that hasn't been released by Celtic themselves? The guy's not there wearing the strip and taking his pictures and going, hey, it's, you know, this young guys stuff these days. Remember Junior Adamu when he came in? His pictures were off the scale. His pictures were like, yeah, I'm aiming for level 10 Instagram stuff here when Junior Adamu came in. He was like cool as, but he was shite. Doug walked, watered and fed, tanning my Greek yogurt bowl now, and then feet up. Might even moisten the AC Milan game, says Pablo. Joseph Davidson says, "Say hello to the shirt. Hope you're keeping well. It's always good to see the community engaging with one another." And listen, replacement for Dyson. I'm actually sick of these money grabbing clowns as fans suffer. We need to do something about it because it's us that are suffering from their big stinking ass pockets. We've just spent £11 million. Okay, we've just brought in 10 million. So we're 1 million down on the day. I get that. But what if we go out and buy another 4 players? Let's just... I know that I don't want to... Big Rab says it's on his phone. Well, it's nothing to do with me. It's all YouTube, mate. It's YouTube. Don't ask me. Don't know, you get adverts when you watch STV and Channel 4. YouTube are just in on that. And I think... I'm not talking about it just now. Jesus God. When you look at it, I don't want to give them to the end of it, but we have to give them to the end of the transfer window. We have to make sure that we've got the players in that can win us the game in the Champions League qualifier. We seem to be doing that to a certain extent. If we keep Arne Engels, it's now of paramount importance, if you ask me, that we retain the services of Arne Engels until the Champions League qualifier. If we're not going to get a suitable replacement for Arne Engels right now, to give us a couple of weeks to bed the player in, we need to retain Arne Engels until after, and Celtic have to tell Arne Engels that, which means he'll then be sold later on in the transfer window, which doesn't give us enough time to get a really suitable replacement. So Celtic are at a kind of catch-22 situation as it stands. They're obviously working on stuff in the background that they're not going to tell us. They're not going to sit down. I mean, Martin O'Neill did say last week, yeah, I'm hoping to get players in next week. I'm hoping to get them on Monday, but if I don't get them on Monday, you're going to have a go at me because they didn't come in on Wednesday. You're now going to have a go at me because they're still not in it Saturday. Look, we let it slip. That we've signed the player. He's coming over for his medical tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. That's the happy note that Martin O'Neill will put out today. It's like we've signed a player. You're just waiting on Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay running about the background going, milk, lemonade, chocolate, milk, lemonade, chocolate. That would just add to the hilarity of the situation at Celtic. And I'm sure somebody with a good bit of AI knowledge will now go out and get the video of Chris Mackay and Michael Nicholson doing the milk, lemonade and chocolate dance as Celtic are about to release the team for today's friendly. The team is out, as they say. I'm just going to share the screen. Sinisalo, Donovan, Carter Vickers, Dane Murray, Kieran Tierney, Luke McCown, Callum McGregor, Arne Engels, James Forrest, Tenetti, and Duran up the front. I'm glad he doesn't play at the back. Anyway, on the bench is Dohan, Gills, Scales, Balak, Wisha, Osmond, Oxley, Chamberlain, Bernardo, McCardle, Montgomery, Hatton, Hatate. We've even forgot about Hatate's bound to be raging. Let's take a moment, in all seriousness, let's take a moment to think about Rio Hatate and his thoughts about the loss of his dear friend. The loss of a companion in the workplace. Your best mate's just left the job. And he's no coming back. There's nobody to talk Japanese to now. Is there? Don't think so. I think they've all gone. And when Rio Hatate does leave the club this summer, if someone comes in and gives us a fiver for him, that'll be the end of an era. It's officially the end of the Ange Postecoglou pretty much era, because the only one that then's remaining is Kieran Tierney, James Forrest and Cameron Carter-Vickers. Ange's team's gone. It's a distant memory. It's all about looking at the future. Brendan Rodgers, he was just come in and just didn't do much over the last couple of years, did he? Just maintained. He was just there. But anyway, that is the team for today. Tell me what you think about that. Bring back Dempsey. Did Nicholson find his phone charger, or maybe he doesn't work weekends? Here's the thing. There's an ongoing thing with Celtic fans saying that Celtic cannot do business on a Saturday. They cannot confirm, deny, or otherwise say no, it's not happening with transfers. Today, we've just had a team confirm on a Saturday. There's always this thing that Celtic can't confirm a player until it's confirmed to the stock exchange and stuff. But there we go. Anyway, it's been confirmed. Who cares? We're just going around in circles here. Danny Cassie with another super chat. Thank you for that, Daniel. The comments are all over the place here. I need to scroll back up. That's a dreadful team, says Liam, Mr. Positivity. DD has used up all my energy. It's not coming up with the comments on this bit of the screen. Ooh, wait a minute. Comments isn't coming up. Wait to do this. It'll be easier. But I like having the team on the big screen, as they say. Just have to put it up this way. That's the good old heat map. Oh, this is all new. Image. Jesus. That's an awful lot of stuff going on at one time. And I will put it over here because I remember last season you were all complaining about the chat. And the only thing is you won't be able to read the team as it's tiny on that bit. But I need to get some of these comments up. Jay Johnson's in the house. Thank you for that super chat. I think CCV should be out the door next. Wow, says Jed Johnson. How do you feel about that, other Celtic fans? Do you feel that Cameron Carter-Vickers... Listen, we start the season next week. We have Liam Scales. Is Liam Scales not banned for the first 2 games or something? Something's there about Liam Scales not being available for the first 2 games. I think he's got a ban for the first 2 games of the season. That's why we're going with Cameron Carter-Vickers and Dane Murray. It explains why Dane Murray's getting so much game time, because you've got to get him up there and training and being ready for the first game of the season. So that has to be the only real reason that Dane Murray's getting so much game time over Liam Scales. Balak Wisher, please tell me that we're not going to try and make him a midfield player this season when Arne Engels. See if he's Arne Engels' replacement. We are prophet of a doom stuff. No, that's top fans. Super chat. Sorry, I'm trying to skim back to find a comment there, but it was there. The Born are off the hook. until we see how the rest of the transfer window pans out. Still very happy with today's news. I think there's a lot of us happy. I'm a bit slow. Just tanned the full what? Ray Ray down in Vietnam has just tanned a full pizza and chips. I don't know what to say to that. I really don't. The hate, CCV hate, is outrageous. I think he's our most experienced defender, and the hate that he gets, you're right. It can be really. But I'm a Murray fan, or a fan Murray, even. Why would Engels go to the Championship? Surely he has higher sights than that. I don't think he will go to the Championship. I'm hoping not. Last chance to prove himself off the bench for some of these players like Balikwisha, Hatate, Bernardo, and the B team. I don't think that Hatate needs to prove himself. I think Hatate needs to go, because I think that Martin O'Neill, he's got a memory. Yeah, I had no context, really, no context whatsoever, and I was confused. And I'll be honest, if you're in that part of the world, you know, pizza and chips, it's not the first thing that comes to my mind, to be honest. I'm going to put it that just we're not talking about food because it's not happening today. CCV looks a bit slow in my opinion. Oh, Balikwisha redemption arc this year. Balikwisha to Motherwell for 8 million, and then get half the Motherwell team. Should be playing Murray and Bernardo. We need a proper look at both. Yes, we do, but Paulo Bernardo seems to be playing in the position that Callum McGregor plays in. So it's kind of difficult to drop your captain and bring in Paulo Bernardo. It's as simple as that. That's all it comes down to with Paulo Bernardo. You know, there's not an ulterior motive. If Paulo Bernardo was better than Callum McGregor, which is not, and Callum McGregor brings so much organisation to the team as well. Callum McGregor is going to get a shitload of hate this year. My predictions, now that we're a week out before the game starts today, we're a week out before the season starts, and my early predictions are the men to get the hate this year will be Callum McGregor. No surprise, Callum McGregor, because I think that people will say he's Mr. Pointy. He'll have to point because he doesn't speak Spanish, and I think Kasper Ho will be fine because he'll speak English. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Callum McGregor will get the usual hate. I hope he doesn't, but I think he will. And James Forrest, nobody should complain a single bit about James Forrest this year. James Forrest is only playing there at the moment because there are still people coming back from World Cup duty and that aren't available for today. So you've got to make sure that James Forrest's game fitness is up there, because he'll be called on within certain last 20 minutes of games. And I think that James Forrest is looking super trim, super athletic, like. Not the bulkiness he had about him. I mean, when I seen him in Portugal, I was like, I thought it was a different player wearing his strip. I seriously did. I thought it was, and have we signed James Forrest's brother, the Hearts, and not told anybody, or have Celtic just brought his brother over because James is like sick note or something? But anyway, it hasn't. It was James Forrest, and he's looking super athletic, super fit, and he's looking to have a fantastic final season. And that's the reason that James Forrest shouldn't get any stick, because it's his last season as a football player. He's going into retirement. See when you've got a workmate that comes up to that age, and he's like, for the last year and a half he's been putting in all the overtime gone, and then now that he's 6 months out, 4 months out, 3 months out, 2 months, you didn't get to the old boy, do you? He's a fucking old. You don't, do you? He gets a little bit of respect. James Forrest deserves that little bit of respect going into the final year of his football career. It's not just hate, guys. It's not just hate, guys. It's just that he's far too slow, says Jed Johnston. I hope in CCV's long absence, he'll be up for another season. Hopefully that he is. Ray says, I was always looking forward to see if Jamesy can score in yet another consecutive season. Of course, he'll be wanting to set a record, won't he? Because that's him scored in 17 consecutive seasons as a football pro. Might be other players that have done it, but it's a record at Celtic. Did we buy Tenecti? Can't remember. Well, we didn't get him for free, that's for sure. And this will be Tenecti's first game back. His first game back, so there we go. Good news. Tenecti's back. Tenecti's shite, let's be honest. It'll be good to see. Maybe Tenecti's been looking at Jamesy Forrest and saying, you know what, Olgin. I think Tenecti talks like that. Oh, senior player. Hey, Olgin. Tenecti's like, oh, Jamesy boy, wait a minute. Go and show me how to take on a player again. Go and show me how just your feet movement and then we dancing just to get past and take on a player. Because that's one thing that Tenecti can't do. And if Tenecti can't do it against the likes of AC Milan, what friggin' hope in hell have we got Tenecti doing it in the Champions League? Hopefully somebody comes in for a £3 million bid and takes some. Oof. Jamesy's got built. 100% need focus on the hate on DD and the board. I think, Jed, that it's on the Celtic player. I've never checked. Let me just do this. Update. There is an update. Kasper Ho is due to arrive in the UK tonight ahead of his medical with Celtic. It's understood that the Danish international player has agreed terms on a 4-year contract at Celtic, with Celtic having the option to extend by a further year of 5 years. So there is the breaking news for you this afternoon. Come on, get in there, clip that one and get it all over your socials. Bodo Glint striker Kasper Ho is due to arrive in the UK tonight ahead of a medical with Celtic. It's understood that Denmark international has agreed terms on a 4-year contract, with Celtic having the option to extend for a further year. That, my friends, is fantastic. Fantastic news. Now, with Duran playing up front today, has to be said, Duran's got the shirt. He's the number 11, but he's playing through the middle. He will want to retain that place. Now, Callum Osmond, he said last week that he wants to speak to the manager to see where he is positioned when it comes to placement as a striker at the club. And then we've still got the likes of Johnny Kenny to come back to the club, but I think Johnny Kenny will go. Now, Francis Turley is on the bench today. Now, he's a player that has excited me over the past couple of the seasons. This should really be the season that the likes of Francis Turley pushes ahead, and I'm going to say it, of the likes of Tenecti. And I'm even going to say Yang. Francis Turley should be setting his sights on those players and going, do you know what? I know that you're a wee bit older than me, and you know, I've got ginger hair, but I'm taking that shirt off you, mate. That's going to be mine. We Francis Turley to do things this season, hopefully, at Celtic. The same with young McArdle. Montgomery, I've got to say, I wasn't impressed with Montgomery in Portugal. I didn't think that he did. He's done enough to progress. Montgomery's in the final year of his contract. I wanted that young lad to do so well at Celtic, but it doesn't look like that he's going to be able to make this step up. But we'll wait and see. Journalist says to thank you for the memories, Dies, and good luck. Could have said that in the last video. Duran and Ho, 12 goals in the Champions League between them last season. Let's not even get ahead of ourselves. Let's get the guys in the door first of all. Let's not say these guys are. We're going to fucking God. Let's just stay calm today. Let's have a little bit of tranquilo. A lot of relaxation, calmness. You know, we don't need to be completely bonkers and exciting. Looking for. Baz, I think Martin O'Neill will be going 3-5-2. That's an interesting one. It gives you that feeling, doesn't it? You're not bringing in two good quality strikers like that to play one up front, are you? And let's face it, I've been crying out for that for a long time. I think that at Celtic Park, there is no need for us in the SPFL to play with four at the back. Now, with that being said, who would be the third at the back? Because if we're setting up with the four at the back this afternoon, of course, when you have the back four of Donovan, Carton, Vickers, Murray and Tierney. McCowan, Arnie Engels going further forward. McGregor in the holding midfield role. At least McCowan isn't having to play as a winger today. I've got to say, I was impressed with the attitude of Luke McCowan. Well, his anger. Because when Luke McCowan came off the bench in Portugal, he was fuming. He was giving it big licks as if he was the big I am and he wanted to smash up the dugout. I like that from a player. You may not have the ability of an Arnie Engels or Rio Hatate, but see when you've got that fight and that passion, sometimes that can win over. Do you know? Listen, Celtic have played teams that have had lesser ability, but they've had better organisational skills than Celtic, and they've given Celtic their totties. Just look back to last year when we were 200 miles away from China. Yes, it'll be two up front. A lot of people are now surmising there'll be two up front. They've swapped Engels for Hoberg and Ho, to be honest. Any other players at Bodo worth a bid? I don't think that we've been after so many of their players for such a long time, and we've always went in with such low bids. I'm surprised that Celtic have just went in and they've went, no, we want 11 million for him. I think 2 seasons ago, I think we were trying to get him for around about 6 million. I think, did we not put in a bid for around about 6 million? My memory is going a bit. But I think we tried to get the player in for around about 6 million. Paying 11 million for him, like, it's the going rate. It is what it is. But then Kasper Ho scored 4 against 4 elite clubs. Ho, and a bottle of rum. Now you're talking. Ho, and a bottle of rum and full fat Coke. Just putting out there. But I have got Guinness in the house. Baz, we need more signings to settle the fans for this year. Jim, of course we do. Don't know. I don't think that Kasper Ho and Camilo Duran, I don't think that they're going to be the limit. I think that this is just getting started. So Bodo must be mad. No, really, they got good money for him. Scored 2 against Man City. That would do for me. Just going through these comments. We need to think beyond Engels, as I believe that will definitely not be there beyond this a Windy. Yeah, we need to get someone in then, don't we? We need to get someone in to replace Arnie Engels. Jay Johnson says, Baz, how many more players do we need, in your opinion? 10. We've let go of 14, 15 players in the last window. When you look at the squad's threadbare, mate. And the players that we've got there, are they good enough? You know, if we're talking about bringing in Kasper Ho, as we've just done, we've brought in Camilo Duran. Nobody saw the Camilo Duran one coming. Nobody. Not one Celtic podcaster, not one Celtic fan media, nobody's seen the Duran one coming. When you look at the squad that we've got, we need a goalkeeper. So there's one. I think we need a better defender. A lot will happen. A lot will determine whether we need another player to fill in Alistair Johnson's position. I can't see Alistair Johnson leaving as yet, as there's not been any bid, so we'll wait there. The defenders, there's no improvement in the defence. When you look at Austin Trusty, who's still in America, and there was people online complaining about Austin Trusty still being in America. He only finished the World Cup 2 weeks ago. You've got to remember that the squad players that weren't at the World Cup got 4 weeks holiday before they went back to training. And people are like, why is he on holiday in America? Fucking cunt. Going absolutely mental. But we look at the defenders, right? You've got Alistair Johnson, Liam Scales, Austin Trusty, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Dane Murray, Colby Donovan, Tony Ralston, Kieran Tierney. Some may say that that's enough to fill those positions, but it's not really elevated the team any. So, unless Tony Ralston leaves, I think he won't. I think Tony will be around to the end of his career, the end of this coming season that starts on Monday. It's going to be very difficult for Celtic to bring in any other defenders, I'll say, right? So, as it stands, we're not bringing in any other defenders. We need to bring in a goalkeeper. That's certainty. We need to bring in midfielders. Or do we? Yes, we need to bring in a replacement for Rio Hatate. He needs to go. Benji Negrin, Arne Engels, big question marks over those two futures. Do we need to bring in players now before they leave? I think so. I think if the Hassan one goes through, that's your replacement for Rio Hatate. That then pushes Luke McCowan back, and Oxlade Chamberlain. How much game time realistically is he going to get? Callum McGregor, I think he will be here till the end of this season, at least minimum. So for midfielders, do you need to improve that? Do we really need 10 players? There was a lot of players that were in the squad that were getting nowhere near the bench. So with that being said, when you look at the youngsters that are on this list, is there any of the youngsters? That should be the question. Not how many should we bring in. It should be, out of the youngsters that are on this list, how many of them can make the step up to first team football? When you look at the fact that Murray, Tierney, Donovan, Forrest all come through the system, you would be hoping, and it maybe says that Martin O'Neill was putting a bit of trust into Montgomery, McArdle, Turley. Those are the ones that kind of stand out in that team. That Martin O'Neill would be really hoping that they break through into the team. They may save Celtic £5, £6, £7, £8 million. But then you'll say they're not good enough. You have to let these young players break into the team first. We're complaining that young players don't get the chance. And then when they do get the chance, we're saying they're shite. And then when they do get the chance and they're in the squad, people look at the squad and go, that squad is pish. There has to be a happy medium ground from the fans' perspective. Yeah, it's fine going out and spending 10 million on a player. You know, 5 million. We've spent 15 million on players now. Woohoo! Fantastic. We've broke even when it comes to the player trading model. But we need to be giving the younger players a chance. How many players do we need? Martin O'Neill will be better answering that one. I think that we needed to make the squad bigger. But Martin O'Neill will be thinking, okay, there will be players that we can bring into the club that are pushing for first team places. I don't want to bring in too many players like we did at the last window, in the winter window, purely for the fact that there were players at the club that couldn't get on the bench. So you're better to have youngsters coming through the system that are working their balls off, that's not cost you any money, that's came through the academy, and having them fill up the squad to try and progress them as players. And if Martin O'Neill does that, it'll be a successful season, no matter what we win. But we will win the league. I'm confident of that now, just with the players that we have brought in. Not necessarily because the two guys replacing Bernardo Atati. I think it's actually playing and contributing more, improving what we have. Osmond Ho Duran, quite a front line. Where does it leave Johnny Kenny? If we're playing two up front, you need 4 strikers. But then again, if Johnny Kenny leaves, you need to bring in someone else. Yang and Jota, still a long way with trusty Benji Negrin coming back from the World Cup. Yes. Jota's not going to be there until, remember, the 5th of November. He'll be back to build a bonfire. Build a bonfire, build a bonfire, put the dust on the top, put the jambos in the middle, and the used to love that. See what it does to fans' mindset when one new player comes in. Could you imagine what it does to the mindset if we bring in 3 players next week? This is what I don't understand about the board. The board could have... I think the board are playing with us, personally. I do. I think that the board are sitting there going... They're all sitting at the game. They're all sitting inside Celtic Park right now, and they're saying, "Anybody's checked Twitter today? Hey, look, he's fucking having a meltdown again. The minions. Wait a minute. I will sort it out. They're having a meltdown because we sold. Wait a minute. Wait, watch this. Anthony, yes, it's Michael. Michael Nicholson, yes, it's Michael here. Yeah, I've got a bit of news for you. Yes, we've just spent £11 million. Yes, 11 million. 11. Yes, 2 1s. 11. Hello, are you still there? Anthony Joseph, are you still there, Anthony? Oh, you fell to the ground. Oh, with shock. Oh, okay. Tell the fans we've spent £11 million and Kasper Ho is coming in this weekend. Okay, bye. I'm fucking telling you, that's what they're doing in the board. They're sitting up in that boardroom. It's not even in the boardroom. They're sitting in the bar, taking the pure piss out of the lot of us. I'm telling you, it's the way it is. Is Ho our marquee signing? 11 million for a striker. Is that the marquee signing that they're all looking for at the club? Oh, I'm not too sure about that one. What's this one? That's the players that we are being linked with. Anyway, yeah, it's all about hilarity. Hail, Stephen Johnson and myself are your legends. It says Jill. Anyway, right, that's me done and dusted for this afternoon. What kind of numbers are we on? We're on fine. I apologise. I'm not Yamal. There we go. The squad is push, says Brian. Record fee, I'd imagine so. Well, you never know. You never know. Celtic might... We've got... I said before... Somebody said to me at the beginning of the transfer window, how much do you think that we will spend this transfer window? And I said in the region of 40 million. I thought we need to spend at least 40 million to make the squad better. And that's not taking into consideration the players that we're going to lose at the club. We've lost Eisenleider. We've lost South American winger. He wasn't at the club for a while anyway. We've brought in something like just 16 million. As it stands, we've spent 15 million. As it stands, the club's 1 million in profit for the transfer window. Good, bad, we've still got a lot of players to come to bring in. So I think that no matter if Arne Engels is sold, no matter if Benji Negrin is sold, no matter if Rio Hatate is sold, I still think that we need to spend around about 40 million. Now, if we're going to go out and spend another 10 million on a player and another 8 million on another player, we may spend more than that 40 million. And I think that you'll get everyone else in the league saying, oh, Celtic are just buying the league. Well, it's not. We're buying to compete in Europe. And it's looking like we are actually buying to compete in Europe. I know it's only 2 signings. We're not going to get carried away. We're not letting the board off with it. But you've got to say, fair play to them when it happens. Yamal, 19-year-olds, won the Euros, won the World Cup. In Scotland, 23 is too young to play first team football. Says John. To be fair, Yamal's a special kind of player, isn't he? He's good. I don't think that there's many players coming through Scotland could lace his boots. And he's just a typical 19-year-old. Did you see the video on his YouTube channel about his flat? It was honking. There was clays lying everywhere. There was dishes being done. If I knew that, it was like, if I knew, if Lucky's mum wasn't coming round, son, I'm coming round to check the house before you do that video, I'd be like cleaning the house like mad. It'd be like spotless. But anyway, he's a typical 19-year-old and a shit hot player. And he's got a fantastic attitude as well. They will all be happy back slaps today. Yes, it will be. I'll be on Celtic TV in the Fire Stick in the box. It will that. I rarely use emojis, as mine cost 10 pence each. How does your emojis cost 10 pence? Are you using a Nokia at 8210 or something? Are you using one of those old Nokia bricks? Still spending 25 pence per text. Remember the days? This fucking text cost me 25 pence, you prick, you better answer. Oh, Jesus. Right. But it's two signings that can score in the Champions League. This is very true, says Joseph Davidson. Depends on the quality of the player. Oh, the quality of the player. Oh, Craigie White CSC is going after his nut. He's had a bottle of Bucky's on his way into the ground, and he's saying, keep the board absolutely buzzing. Would have went today if this was announced earlier. So I'm now drinking my Bucky in my house. Myself. Nicholson's a rancid helmet. That's the comment of the day, isn't it? Android phones can't download too. There you go. You learn something new every day. I just wish Sriracha had made an offer. We got Sriracha and made an offer for a Rocco. I think that the Rocco one could be on the back burner if Alistair Johnston leaves. Some people say that I am not. In fact, has the team bus arrived yet? More to the point, is there any team bus videos online? Oh, what's this? Whoa! The Green Brigades have been kettled today. The Green Brigade have been kettled at the Unite the Clans demonstration in Glasgow Green. A bit of breaking news this afternoon. Let me just jump on to this. The Green Brigade have been kettled this afternoon at a demonstration. Nothing changes. Nothing changes, does it? So the Green Brigade won't be there today because they're... Welcome to Scotland. Welcome to Scotland. I'm going to jump back to that. Let me just see if I can get any more. I've no idea what they're attending, but anyway, who cares? What's United? I've no idea. I've read it. I thought the Green Brigade don't do friendlies. They're not. They're not at the game today. They're at some kind of protest. I just seen it came up on someone that more than likely may be at the game today. I don't know. Protesting Glasgow Green about immigration. Well, there you go. Anyway, let's get back to football, as they say. Oh, he told Dermot exactly how he's going to go when he's in charge. Right, that's me done and dusted for the game. I'll be back at half time now. I'm not going to jump on at half time. I'll jump back on maybe about the last 10-15 minutes of the game. So if you are watching the game sitting at home, make sure that you join in. We've had over 4,200 people on this live this afternoon. Absolutely fantastic. Make sure you jump on. I'll jump on Rush for about 10 minutes to go. And I shall see you all after the game. Is it true about Kasper Ho? Yes, it is true about Kasper Ho. We did break that news before we left. Where is it? I'll give you the update that we have. Kasper Ho is travelling to Glasgow. Is travelling tonight to complete his move to Celtic. The 11+ million fee and add-ons have been agreed with Bodo Glimt, and he will sign a 4-year deal with the option of a further 1 year from Celtic. So in other words, 2 years in, if Celtic haven't sold him after 2 years and he gets to around about the 3-year mark, Celtic better get that deal done and dusted. Once again, we have a player at Celtic Park. Oh, it will give Martin O'Neill a bit of reminiscing. The locks, the hairdo. Just a different country. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are all around the world.